This morning, the Lord will be speaking to us on the topic, walking wisely in a world of distraction. Ó ní kí a máa rìn pẹ̀lú ọgbọ́n nínú ayé òṣì yìí. Bó tilẹ̀ nǹkan kí nǹkan tá a bá fẹ́ sọ, nǹkan tí ò dá, a lè fi ṣàpèjúwe inú ayé tí a wà. Tí a bá fún àwọn èèyàn míì kí wọ́n sọ nípa ayé yìí, pàápàá jùlọ àwa tó jẹ́ pé Nàìjíríà nìkan la ṣe wà, àpàjọba àti gbogbo àwọn tó wà níjọba. But it's a world of distraction, a world that is condemned already. And I wonder why we complain about this world. Before we were born, it had not been better. While we are alive, it is no better. And it does not promise to be better, even while we are gone. What makes the world better is the life we live while we are in it. And that is what Jesus is trying to put across to us. Walking wisely and not as fools. It's simple. The world is full of distraction. But had the world been like this before now? No. At creation, with Adam and Eve, the world was blissful. The Bible says they were in the garden. They had no need to dress properly. The heart was pure. The purpose of the Lord was certain in their life. And there was no room for complaints. It was peaceful. It was in tranquility. There was no sin. There was no law. Nothing to guide us from doing the right or going the right path, because man was built to go the right path. So the world was superb. We could imagine how they lived. I remember then in primary school when they gave us my book of Bible story, and we begin to see the pictures of how it was in those days. Eve with lion giving things we cannot try to do. We don't know whether it is true, whether they actually fed lions, but he named them, gave them their names. And the Bible says every one of them were named by him. There was no need to be careful. There was no need to walk or to watch how we live. That was the purpose of God. That was the mind of God for the world. And somewhere in Revelation, I think Revelation chapter 12, verse 12, the Bible says, woe unto the world, this earth and sea. It said, because the devil has been thrown therein. And he knew that his time is short and is filled with wrath. And since then, we've been saying different things, unpalatable things about this world of ours. Since the day the devil had been thrown therein. Revelations chapter 12 and verse 12. It said, woe to the head and to the sea, because the devil has come down to you, having great wrath, knowing that he has only a short time. So we started that story. The world of distraction. The world without purpose. The world that had devised a different thing from the mind of God for humanity. A man lived as he liked. Ohun tó wù ló ń ṣe. wọ́n fún ní gbogbo nǹkan láti jẹ. Ènìyàn bí ara tiẹ̀ ló fẹ́ máa jẹ. Ẹ̀mí ènìyàn ò jọ lójúmọ́. Ó fẹ́ dépò, á pa èyí tó bá wù ú láti pa. Kò bìkítà. Ayé wa di júùjù. Ìdààmú dé bá wa, làásìgbò dé bá wa. Ó wá pọ̀ dandan fún wa láti ṣọ́ra. It became paramount for man to be watchful, to be careful the way he walked, the way he lived his life, not as unwise, the Bible says, but as wise. Said making good use of the time because the days are evil. If you will walk wisely as God has commanded us, we must walk with purpose. What really is the purpose of God for your life? Have you thought of it? Kí ni ìdí ẹ̀ gangan tí o fi wà láyé? Kí ni Ọlọ́run fẹ́ kí o ṣe? Ǹjẹ́ ò ń ṣe? When purpose is lost, abuse is inevitable. If you don't get your purpose, you will always be falling into sin. Ephesians chapter 5. It's a very beautiful passage that addresses how to get rid of sins in our life. And verse 15 and 16, which is a crux, says, look carefully then how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise, making the best use of the time, because the days are evil. You must appreciate time. Make the best use of it. Time is a precious gift, and how you use it reveals what we value most. What do you value most? The time is short. How do you use your time? To walk with purpose means to align our steps with the will of God. God had an intent for man, for Adam to till the ground, to tend the garden. He has a purpose for you and I. What are you tending? What are you taking care of? What are you preserving? What am I preserving? To walk as a wise person, we need to walk with wisdom. In Psalm 101 verse 10, the Bible says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Adam and Eve had close relationship with God. The Bible says in the evening, God will descend to fellowship with them. These are some things that are missing in the world of today, and has made this world a world of distraction, that have made these days as evil as the Bible has described. Fellowship with God. If you are wise, if I am wise, it is essential. We must walk with God. If we are wise, living and walking wisely will entail us walking in the light. Nínú ìmọ́lẹ̀ ti Jésù Kristi. Walking in light means living transparently and with integrity and honesty. How transparent am I? How transparent are you in all our dealings? Iṣẹ́ òkùnkùn pọ̀. Mélòó ló wà nínú ayé wa? Àwọn nǹkan wo ni à ń ṣe tí a gbọ́dọ̀ fi lé ọmọ lọ́wọ́ tá a tiẹ̀ lè jẹ́ kó rí? We are not proud to allow our children to see those things we do. Walking wisely entails walking in the light. We do many things that we are not proud of. We need to walk transparently. When we walk in the light, our life becomes a testimony to the transformative power of the gospel. Brothers and sisters in God, are we honest enough in our dealings? Are we purposeful? Are we truthful? The time is short. You are there now. You may not be there tomorrow. Àwọn Yorùbá bọ̀ wọ́n ní òjò rọ̀ àgbọ̀n rẹ́rìn. Ó ń fi apẹ̀rẹ̀ ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́. Ó ti gbàgbé yí pé bí òjò bá dá apẹ̀rẹ̀ la máa fi kó èrè oko délé tó ṣe bí òwe ní àgbà. The youths are there. How of a parent are we to them? I know of somebody that they came to and they went to and said, oh, this guy needs job. A youth in your church. And he said, that job vacancy is meant for my child. When she grows up, I planned it for. And it was so. But that child caused the retirement of that man at the end of the day. Who are you helping? Who are you assisting? Who are you lending hands? They will talk about it. Àbí awo la fi ń ṣe. Àwọn tèmi nìkan ni. Gbogbo wa ní tiyín o. Níwọ̀n gbà tí a bá ti ń jọ́sìn níbi kan náà. Gbogbo wa ni. Walking wisely entails walking in fellowship. It took more than one person to get that word Christians. The Bible says because they lived like Christ. It is a communal thing, Christianity. We are not supposed to walk that journey alone. Wale ìjọsìn. Ara ṣe Kristẹni ni o. Kí ẹ máa wá sílé ìjọsìn. How wise are we, if I may ask? And how wise are we walking? If we will make heaven, we must walk as wise and not as fools. Ignorance is no excuse. You know what you are supposed to do. If you don't, in James he says, let him ask the Lord, and the Lord will give. So ask him, what is my purpose in life? Let him tell you and live to that purpose. What is your duty as a child of God? Ignorance of our duty and neglect of our souls are evidences of the greatest folly. If we are not conversant of what we are supposed to do, then we are living not as wise as the Bible have said, but as unwise. What is your decision this morning? Because he wants you to live as wise, he sent his son to us. Because he wants you to come to him at last, he gave his heart to us. The greatest folly on heart that you can do is to neglect to accept that truth. Jesus, our way, our truth, and our life. Jesus, our wisdom. Jesus, the only formula to navigate this world of distraction successfully. Jesus, the only one you need to help you. Close your eyes and talk to God.